Y'all, it's time for some damn good tacos and college football. We're excited to announce our title sponsor, Torchys Tacos, for the Arkansas Football Report with Otis Kirk, and the new addition to the Hogville.net family, the Arkansas pregame show starring former Hog running back Marshall Foreman, hosted by Jason Pattison. If you're looking for a place to unwind and call the Hogs, Torchys is the place. Torchys' location on MLK in Fayetteville is the proud host of the Arkansas pregame show, and it will air 2 hours prior to kickoff of each Fayetteville home game. The Arkansas Football Report airs every Thursday at 7 p.m. in Rogers. Check out the full-service bar on the patio or in the restaurant while you cheer Arkansas on to victory. Torchys has you covered with the daily drink specials or the taco of the month with their queso that's made in-house fresh daily. Torchys has 2 convenient locations in Northwest Arkansas, which happen to be the only 2 locations here in the great state of Arkansas. They have you covered for some damn good tacos, and go Hogs. And everybody, welcome to the Arkansas Football Report with Otis Kirk. I'm Jason Pattison, and Hog Nation, I'm going to say thank you for jumping on with us tonight. Otis, it's Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween. Big trick-or-treaters in here, man.
Hey, yeah, they are. You know what? I even dressed up this year.
Yeah, I do it every day, man. It's my natural look. Clown or something. I'm not sure what it is.
I dressed up as a hack football rider this year.
Yeah. I do that every day, man.
Oh, man.
Don't even have to dress my favorite holiday. Without a doubt.
We're here live at Torchys Tacos here in Rogers. I want to thank you all for jumping on with us tonight. I also want to thank Leighton, Marcus, and their entire crew for taking care of us each Thursday night. You can also click and subscribe to the like and subscribe buttons on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen here and subscribe to the Hogville YouTube channel where you can watch all of the shows from Otis, Dudley, Kevin, and Marshall. Be sure to stop to either of the 2 Torchys locations in Rogers or Fayetteville here in Northwest Arkansas, Otis, which happen to be the only locations here in the great state of Arkansas. So try out their queso that's made in-house fresh daily. Also, taco of the month is y'all can see here, it's that salmon taco. I'm going to bring that up really quick. There is that, the Baja salmon taco. So make sure to try that or any other great tacos on that menu and open your taste buds to a whole new world. Also, make sure this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. we will be live, myself and Marshall, at the Torchys location in Fayetteville. They're opening early. They usually don't open until 11. They're opening at, I do believe, at 9 o'clock Saturday morning.
Good deal.
So go get some breakfast tacos. Come talk some football with Marshall Foreman and myself. And stop by before you get over to Razorback Stadium. I'm going to talk about that also a little bit later because there was some new information from Hunter Yurichek that came down today. So there's a lot of stuff to cover tonight. So I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. Get this whole thing off of there. There we go. All right. So also make sure to throw up your score predictions for a $25 gift certificate to Torchys Tacos. I'm going to take them, all the comments off of here. Also add those to the Twitter comments as well. Throw them up on Facebook. And we'll go through those. And if you guys, whoever gets the closest to the Arkansas score this coming Saturday will win the $25 gift certificate and a T-shirt of your choosing.
Yeah. Get the trailer park taco. It's pretty good, man.
Yeah, that was a really good one. I actually took that and then put some of the queso on there and dirtied it up. It was pretty dang good.
Yeah. It's got fried chicken on it. It's pretty dang good. Yeah, I had 2 of them all ago.
Yeah, man. My favorite, honestly, is the steak fajita and also the Wrangler, which is a breakfast taco. That thing is delicious.
Oh, maybe the Hogs will have Ole Miss for breakfast Saturday. I mean, they need to break this pattern. And I had a story today I wrote about alternating wins and losses, and
yeah,
you get on a streak here, win about 3 or 4 games in a row. Well, we got 4 left. I guess win 4 in a row. Of course, we're talking about SEC, so it'd be 3 games. But yeah, I mean, you get Ole Miss going to that bye week, come out of there ready for Texas. I know they'll be ready for Texas, man. I mean, the Hogs could play them at midnight on a Sunday night, and they'd be ready for that game. Everybody would be ready for that, but Texas better be ready.
Yeah.
And then you got, Louisiana Tech.
Yeah.
And then finish up at Missouri, up at Missouri. So
I always call it Missouri. That's where I was stationed. I was in the Air Force. I always called it misery.
I've only been there one time to that stadium, and it was misery. Believe me, it was cold. That press conference was outside. Ugh. Chad Morris got beat 38-0. Yeah, it wasn't my favorite trip I've been on. But I went there because that was the last stadium in the SEC that I hadn't been to, and I wanted to go see it.
Yeah,
so I could say I've seen it.
That's not really a place. That's not much to look at in the first place.
No, it was a dump, but whatever.
Man, oh man. Well, again, thank you all for joining us tonight. We're here live at Torchys Tacos here in Rogers. So let's kind of recap that game last week. You had Taylor Green. It looked like he was 100%. And whenever you have 100% Taylor Green, this team has no limits whenever it comes to scoring.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal with Taylor, and here's the deal with the Razorbacks, period. Yeah. Turn it over 3 times, they lose. Don't turn it over 3 times and they win. Look, they're 5-3, and the 3 games they've lost, they've turned it over 3 times. At Oklahoma State, they had a pick 6. At A&M, they fumbled on the 10-yard line. At LSU, interceptions 5, returned to the 2. Those were 3 killers, and yet they still nearly won 2 of those games. They still nearly beat Oklahoma State, and A&M should have beat Oklahoma State, and just beat themselves. But if Arkansas plays, I've said all season, man, I've said this all season, if Arkansas plays a clean game, they can beat anybody. Now, it doesn't mean if they play a clean game, they'll beat everybody, but they can. They're capable of it. But when they start turning that ball over right and left, it's over with. They're just not good enough to do that. But hopefully they play a clean game Saturday against Ole Miss. They'll need to, because Ole Miss got some chance to score some points. They're really good. Dart's good. I know they handled him last time he was here, though, so maybe they can do it again. But we'll see what happens in this game. I mean, it's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be a good one. And, LSU had the game of their life season against Arkansas. They haven't been that good against anybody else. And so hopefully Ole Miss doesn't do that too.
Yeah. And, I thought it was great to see what Sam Pittman and that offense has in Braylon Russell. 16 carries, 175 yards. The last one was the longest, which was 75 yards.
That was a nice one.
That was great. And I was hoping he would get into the end zone, but whenever you rack up those kinds of yards, you don't need to get into the end zone because you've already impacted the game to almost a maximum capacity.
Yeah, Braylon's so good. He's so big. He's fast. Yeah. He's fast. He's just big. He's just a good running back. I thought he was great in high school. Yeah. He's still great. And Arkansas is fortunate to have him. And, Rashad Dominion, 97 yards Saturday. He had a good game. I had not seen that from Rashad this season. Now, with that said, he hadn't had very many opportunities, so it's not his fault. But I'm just saying, he broke out Saturday, earned him some more playing time, I'm sure, with that 97-yard effort. And I was impressed. So I'll be honest with you, Jason. I didn't think they'd be up 41-10 on Mississippi State. I really didn't. I mean, Mississippi State has no defense, but they've scored points on everybody. Yeah. And be up 41-10, and I know they ended up with 25, but Arkansas took the foot off the gas when they were 41-10. And then Taylor threw that interception, and then they got a 2-point conversion, and then they scored again. I'm just telling you, man, I'm 41-10. I was impressed. I didn't think they beat them. I thought they beat Mississippi State, but I didn't think they beat them as easily as they did. That was impressive.
Sam talked about it post-game that he felt like the matchup for the offensive line Saturday was going to be a good matchup for them, just for the simple fact that Mississippi State had a couple of players out in the defensive line that really softened up that front 7 of Mississippi State's as well. And when Arkansas's offensive line can play the way they did on Saturday, along with no turnovers, he had 1.
Yeah.
But if
that was after the game was decided, though. And they can survive 1 anyway.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah, 1 against UAB. I mean, they can survive 1 turnover, but when it gets to 3, that's what it's troublesome for them.
Yep. And, it doesn't matter if you're Texas, if you're Arkansas, Alabama, or Georgia. If you're going to give up the ball 3 times in a game, more than likely you're not going to survive.
This team's not good enough to. I can tell you that right now. They're good enough to win every game, but they're not good enough to do it, turning over 3 times. They're just not. And what's amazing, though, 2 of those games, like I said, A&M and LSU, A&M and Oklahoma State, they almost still won the games, even doing that. That's what's incredible. But, man, I don't know. I think that the offensive line's may be the key this week. You're talking about the offensive line. LSU, Ole Miss sacked Oklahoma quarterback 10 times last week. I'm telling you, man, they're going to put pressure on Taylor, and that's when he doesn't do that well. So we'll see. The offensive line's got to help Taylor out Saturday, though.
I feel like we're going to see a lot more of Andres Poshka.
Well, they ain't got much choice. They got two. I mean, him and Lucas. I mean, you know, with not suspensions, but kicking two off the team. I mean, they're down to. They've got Shamar Easter and Josh Street and Maddox Lassiter hit the walk-on fullback tight end. So they've got some guy bodies out there, but Shamar's going to be good. I guess he's just not ready right now. I'm a little disappointed they said that. I mean, I felt like he surely could play a little bit. You know, he caught that pass against UAPB. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
17-yard pass or 11-yard pass. I don't remember what it was. It was double-digit yardage.
Yeah. Earlier in the week, I'm sure you've all have already seen the circulators around about with Ty Washington and Marquise Gums are no longer with the program, not able to return. So if they want to continue their careers, they will be somewhere else other than Arkansas. So that's pretty much all the information that we have on that. So, whenever you look back at the defensive effort, you saw where some guys are finally starting to get some run. You saw Hudson Clark grab a pick or an interception. Really, that was the end of the game. Mm-hmm. And we had our group chat going, and I like Dudley's response. If you're going to intercept it, you got to take it to the house.
I tell you what, Hudson Clark is always around the ball. Now, he doesn't have the speed. I know Sam says he's fast. He's not. But Hudson doesn't have the speed these other guys have. Boy, he's got a nose for football. He seems to always be around the football. And, I'm not saying he should start or whatever. I'm not getting into that. All I'm saying is that kid's around the ball a lot, And if he was as fast as, say, Jalen Braxton or Singletary or somebody, he'd be hell on wheels, man. He'd be good if he had that kind of speed. But he's good as it is, but he's not great because of the lack of speed. But he serves a purpose. And like I say, he's always around the ball, and that's worth a lot, man. I mean, he reads the ball well in the air. I mean, he gets a lot of interceptions doing that.
Yep. Also, I want to ask you guys if you want to put your score predictions out for the Arkansas Ole Miss game this Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Throw those up here in the comments. Also, find the Torchys Tacos post on social media on X or Twitter. I like Twitter better than X personally. Mm-hmm. But throw those up there for the chance to win a $25 gift certificate to Torchys Tacos and also a T-shirt to go along with that. So we'll take all of those, bring them all in. And so I want to say a quick shout out to a couple of folks that I got to look up the names here. Because, Otis, every time I get up, there's a couple of stalwarts for Hogville on Facebook. And every time I get up, I got James Riley all the time watching, going over our stuff. Teresa Satterfield, she's always, on all of our, Facebook stuff, reading, liking, commenting. James Riley, and
he's a good guy, man. I don't know him personally, but he posts every Sunday. Have a great day, man. That means a lot to me.
It does, and those are great comments that we'd love to have from y'all.
Yeah,
and there's been a couple others. I'll have to get on here and look a little bit further. But anyway, also, we got a couple that jump on here with us all the time. So put up comments. So if you guys have any comments, questions, we'll put those on here as well, and we'll go over those as well. So I want to look at a couple of things, like we talked about. Oh, Marcus, yeah. Let me see that real quick. All right, so got the Torchys Tacos water bottle, as you can see right here. Also, I got the carabiner keychain also as well. Mm-hmm. That was a good. That's a good one. Also got. I like that trucker hat. Yes. That is a trucker hat. We'll throw that in with the giveaway. Sound good? T-shirt, hat, $25 gift certificate. Yeah. Also, if you go to that QR code at the very top right-hand corner of the the screen there, you can look at all the T-shirts that we have that Torchys has. You can also order food there. That's a direct link to their website here in Rogers, or you can also go onto their website in Fayetteville, grab some great merchandise and food as well. So, I want to, I want to kind of talk about something. We saw Taylor Green against LSU. You saw the effects of the bone bruise. Last week there was no effects of the bone bruise. I think Lane Kiffin in that defense has got to be a little worried, knowing that you got a full strength Taylor Green and there are no effects from that injury.
Yeah, Arkansas is pretty healthy for this game. I think I did that story last night on, man, that's bright light. The parking lot. The availability report or injury report in the story last night, but it was, sorry, I'm getting distracted. I got damn bright lights out there in the parking lot just sitting there. But yeah, I think that Taylor Green's healthy. The team's pretty much healthy. Jaquinda's out. Kicker's out, Ramsey, but Jaquinda, but you got Braylon Russell, Rashad Dominion, Rodney Hill should be back. Got something pretty good at running back, or something really good at running back.
Yeah.
And maybe with Jaquinda and getting these 2 games off and getting a bye week, basically a month to heal up. Hopefully he can stay on the field against Texas and the rest of the season and not have to be going off 2 or 3 times a game, I mean, I know he's hurt. I'm not knocking him, but I'm just saying hopefully he can get healthy here, this month and stay in the game because they need him. He's a good running back. He's one of the best, he may be the best running back in the SEC. If he's not, he's one of them. And if he's not the best, he's one of the best. And so, they need him, and hopefully he responds. And so we'll see how he does. But I'm glad they're giving him this week off, win or lose. They're going to be better off with him healthy the last 3 games of the season. Gives that bye week. It comes at a good time too.
One of our faves, Leslie Byram.
Yeah.
I hope Arkansas can carry the momentum into the game as they did against Mississippi State. I hope the offense comes out on fire and wins big.
That'd be great. Win that game early. I just hope in addition to that, I hope no lightning delays, man. I'm a little bit worried about that. I don't want any lightning delays over there Saturday.
No, that reminds me of you and I sitting up in the press box over at softball. Oh
man.
Jeez.
Yeah, man. And I've done that at baseball too, the regional or super regional or something. Regional, I think it was not this year, but the year before. Yeah, lightning delays. And, man, I tell you, it's frustrating. There's nothing worse than lightning delays, man. I just hate, there is worse, but I really hate those. So hopefully we can avoid that Saturday. It's an 11 o'clock game. Get the heck out of there by 4 or so, after the writer stories, 4 or 5 o'clock, be home. And the Bulldog will be happy to see me, and I'll be happy to be home. His Bulldog, he'll be happy.
That's pretty much going to be the next 4 weeks plus the bye because from everything that I've seen, it's going to be early games from here on out for sure with this Texas and also with Missouri. Have they announced the La Tech game
They have not yet. What time is Missouri? Is it 2:30?
I think it's either 2:30 or 11:45. I'll have to double check on that one.
Yeah, I haven't looked. I'm sure I looked at it. I know. They have not announced Louisiana Tech. That would probably be announced
after the bye.
Yeah, it'll be after the bye. It'll be 2 weeks ahead of time on a Monday is when they announce that. So,
11/11 TBA. They have Missouri as a TBA, but I think that they're going to flex that into the between.
Hopefully, it's flexed into a morning game or an early game, not a morning, but an early game.
Yeah, I think it is because.
It usually is. It's cold up in Missouri that time of year. It's it'll be on Saturday this year. It won't be a Black Friday, but it's cold up there, man. It was Black Friday when I went up there, and it was splitting rain and snow. I mean, I don't think it was snowing, but it's raining, cold rain. Black Friday and 38-0. Chad just completely laid. I think Connor Nolan. He didn't start that day. I don't think. I think Ty Story started, but I think. Connor came in real early, but neither one of them had much success. They were just over. The offensive line was overmatched. Chad was overmatched. It was just a heck of a game, man. They got pounded that day. It was not. And we went up on Thanksgiving Day and came back on Saturday, so it was a 3-day trip for me. And, I wasn't real thrilled about staying up there 3 days.
Leslie's asking, notice how are the Lakers looking so far this year?
Well, they looked good till last night. They lost last night, the first time they really got handed to them. Cavs are undefeated. Lakers are 3-2. They're playing good. I mean, they've won. They've played tough games. They've had Phoenix twice. They've had the Cavs. They've had Minnesota, and they played Sacramento. So they're not playing the weaker team. Now they got Toronto tomorrow night and Detroit Monday night. So they've got two of the weaker teams. So far, they've played these. These are all teams picked at or near the top of the divisions to win it. With Minnesota and Cleveland and stuff. But I tell you, Boston right now to me, Boston, Cleveland, and Oklahoma City look like three best teams in the NBA to me. That's just me. That's what I've seen. I've been watching a lot of. I tell you, but I'm gonna go home and watch some tonight too. I don't know who's playing, but I'll find a game. Promise you.
Yeah. And so, one of the things that I do want to bring up really quick before we take a little break here. So, Taylor Green threw to 9 different receivers, had 23 receptions last week.
Uh-huh.
You don't have him queuing on just Andrew Armstrong. You've got him looking all over the field. That's what you're expecting out of Bobby's offense, is him starting to trust it more. Yeah. And I think that's what you saw last week.
Well, when you see Taylor's getting more comfortable in this offense, it's been the last 3 weeks. I know he had that. He wasn't healthy against LSU, but the last 3 games, Taylor's really shown he's more comfortable in this offense. He's adapted to it. I really like where he's at the last 3 weeks. I know he threw the pick against LSU, but other than that, I mean, but he was, like I said, he was hurt that game, couldn't run. But no, I feel like he's not just keying on Andrew Armstrong now. He's opened it up. The tight ends called 4 touchdowns last weekend. Really impressive. I like where Taylor's at right now in this offense. I really, really, really like where he's at with his head and the health and the legs, and I like where Arkansas's at with Taylor right now.
Yeah,
I really do.
It's a good balance between the pass and the run, and that's why Bobby has been so lethal. And now you're starting to see what could have. You imagine Bobby with Marcel Reed and Connor Wegman down there?
Yeah,
that is amazing. It's so crazy to think that Mike Elko could have had. Well, I don't know if he could have had Bobby down there, but with
Bobby would have probably come to Arkansas anyway, I think. Yeah. But I don't know that. I mean, Bobby be the only one to answer that. I got a feeling Bobby, known Arkansas was going to open up and it was available, he would have taken it. But then again, he might have stayed where he's at.
Yeah. Yep. But you have to give Sam credit to this point. He did, and this is what I had talked about. I thought you and I have both agreed on this, that what Bobby did with the offense this year is what he did with the defense last year. Mm-hmm. People just had to trust the process. Mm-hmm. We're, 9 games in, now going to be 10 8 games in. And we're starting to see those dividends. People, that's what I don't understand. Is like folks thought we were going to, Arkansas was going to be great guns. We're going to go right out of the gate. Bobby Petrino was going to have this great offense. Yeah. Bobby's first year here, folks if they forget, it took London Crawford in the back of the end zone to beat LSU to have I think it was a 4-7 record or a 5-6. It was something like that.
Yeah, they weren't very good that year, and they barely beat Louisiana Monroe. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's now Bobby's a great coach. I mean, there's not a better play caller out there than Petrino. He knows what he's doing, and he can do it, man. He's good at what he does.
He really is.
Arkansas is fortunate to have that man.
And also, what I also want to look at too is Ronnie Fouch and what he's done with that wide receivers room. Last year, you had Kenny Guyton had problems. I don't know if it was more. I mean, I think it was half schematic, half the room itself. Sam improved it. He did. Bobby said, "Hey, bring Ronnie Fouch in." Now you got guys that are. When was the last time Arkansas threw and hit 9 wide receivers for completions?
Ronnie Fouch is a good coach. Kenny was a good coach. So was Jimmy Smith. But Dan Enos wasn't. But Jimmy and Kenny were good coaches. But the biggest thing to me was when Jimmy Smith left and Kenny, I'm thinking, they could take a step back there. But instead, they didn't take a step back. I'm not going to sit here and tell you with Kobe Smith and Johnny Fouts, they upgraded for Kenny and Jimmy. I think they were good coaches. But I don't think I know they didn't take a step back. They maybe broke even or a little bit of an upgrade or whatever you want to say, but they didn't take a step back, and that was kind of my initial fear there. So I'm really impressed with those 2 new coaches, and as well as of course Eric Mateus, knew him from when he was here before. And then Bobby, his resume speaks for his record, and his presence speaks for itself. Bobby Petrino.
It does. All right, everybody, we're going to take a quick break here for just a second, and on the other side, we'll look at injuries. We'll look at ahead to Ole Miss. We got some numbers for you that Otis and I are going to go over. I think it might be a telling tale of how this game is going to go this coming Saturday, and then we'll also look at the SEC around the league towards the end of the program. So here we'll see you guys here on the other side. This is the Arkansas Football Report with Otis Kirk.
Y'all, it's time for some damn good tacos and college football. We're excited to announce our title sponsor, Torchys Tacos, for the Arkansas Football Report with Otis Kirk, and the new addition to the Hogville.net family, the Arkansas pregame show starring former Hog running back Marshall Foreman, hosted by Jason Pattison. If you're looking for a place to unwind and call the Hogs, Torchys is the place. Torchys' location on MLK in Fayetteville is the proud host of the Arkansas pregame show, and it will air 2 hours prior to kickoff of each Fayetteville home game. The Arkansas Football Report airs every Thursday at 7 p.m. in Rogers. Check out the full-service bar on the patio or in the restaurant while you cheer Arkansas on to victory. Torchys has you covered with the daily drink specials or the taco of the month with their queso that's made in-house fresh daily. Torchys has 2 convenient locations in Northwest Arkansas, which happen to be the only 2 locations here in the great state of Arkansas. They have you covered for some damn good tacos, and go Hogs.
And everybody, welcome back to the Arkansas Football Report with Otis Kirk. I'm Jason Pattison over here at Torchys Tacos in Rogers. I want to say thank you to all of their great, to Leighton and Marcus, their great staff, and all of the hospitality they've showed us each week. So make sure to stop over here at Torchys in Fayetteville or Rogers for some great some damn good tacos and some great queso. So also want to have you guys throw in your score predictions for a $25 gift certificate to Torchys Tacos, along with a trucker hat and a t-shirt.
The hat's nice.
The hat is legit. I'm not going to lie. So if you guys hit up that QR code up there on the top right-hand corner of the screen, that goes directly to Torchys' website, and you can order some food, order some merch, get you all set and taken care of. Also, make sure to come in for their daily drink specials here at the full-service bar, and they will get you taken care of. So we got a score prediction from WooPig00. 37-24 Razorbacks.
I'd take that. That in a heartbeat. I don't think it's very far. I think mine was 31-21. I don't think mine was very far off.
Yeah, yours is 31-21.
Yeah, I thought that's what I said. And you know what? I mean, I think it might even end up like a little bit more, maybe 41-31. So I think both teams will score some points. But then again, I don't know it'll be as much as like last weekend. But yeah, that's a pretty good prediction there. Yeah. I'd like to see Arkansas. I hope Arkansas wins that game, breaks this win-lose cycle. And that would get them to 6 wins, I believe.
Yep.
And then you get them 6. Bowl eligible. Louisiana Tech should be a W. And then 7. If you could beat Missouri or Texas, you get to 8. And somebody predicted 8 wins in preseason, I'd feel real good about that 8-win prediction right now if they'd beat Oklahoma State, man. If they'd have won that game, and they should have. That was a game that's going to haunt them. No matter what. If they win 8, you're going to think they should have won 9 because they should have beaten Oklahoma State. That's the game that's going to haunt Arkansas. Yeah.
That is the bugaboo. I kind of went the other way on everything, Otis. I actually predicted Arkansas to lose 24-20 to Ole Miss.
I mean, they could very easily. They could lose worse than that. I think Dart is like Nussmeier. He's an experienced quarterback. They've got good receivers. Trey Harris will be back this week. Yep. I noticed on the injury report he's probable or something. He's not doubtful or out. I think Ole Miss could definitely win this game, but I think Arkansas will find a way to win. I just got a feeling, man, they're going to find a way to win this game, but I don't know. I mean, if it starts raining and you have a bunch of lightning delays, then who knows? And if it's raining,
all bets are off.
So who's got to protect the ball better? I mean, maybe Arkansas does. I don't know, but we'll see. It's going to be an interesting game.
So Jackson Dart, Parrish, running back, and then Trey Harris also. All 3 of those players are top 3 in the league at their respective positions.
They're good. And Ole Miss scores some points with Lane Kiffin now. They're going to score some points. It's just up to Arkansas to do the same and outscore more.
And when you look at it, Oklahoma held them to 26 points. You had Kentucky hold them to 10 points.
Yeah, that was
And
weird.
There's honestly, let's to look at it for just a second. There has been a roadmap to beating Ole Miss. There is one out there. T. Will even said it himself whenever, if I can find a way to create a mismatch, or if I see that there's a mismatch, I'm going to game plan for it. And that's what he did against Auburn. I can see this happening again, where he goes back and looks at what Oklahoma did, because Oklahoma exposed Auburn. They've exposed Ole Miss.
And exposed Tennessee, too.
And Tennessee.
T-Will took a lot of stuff OU than used it against the Bulls. I'm telling you, man, Ole Miss hasn't beaten anybody.
There's something to this.
They haven't beaten anybody. They've played a soft schedule.
Yeah.
And they have not beaten anybody. They lost to LSU. And I don't know how they lost to Kentucky. Kentucky got beat by Auburn, man. I don't know how they lost at home to Kentucky. I really don't. That shows you that, hey, anybody can beat them, because Kentucky beat them. And then, Kentucky's not very good, so let's be honest here. So,
yeah.
I don't know, man. It was a strange deal there with Auburn. With Kentucky beating them at home in Oxford. I didn't see that. That's kind of like Vanderbilt beating Alabama, But then again, that's not surprising now. You look at Vanderbilt. I think you had in your story this morning, man. They're right there at 2 wins, beating Texas and Alabama.
Yeah.
They took Texas. I watched a lot of that Saturday, some of it at the end of it. And I watched and then they beat Alabama, and they could have beaten Tennessee. So, Texas. So, that's amazing. And they may beat Tennessee. I'm Tennessee. I wouldn't want to play them. They got to later on.
That is going to, there's a couple of matchups that are heading towards the end of the season. Arkansas, Missouri. You got Alabama, Auburn, because that series is a toss-up every time. But now you've got Texas and A&M, and you've also got Vanderbilt and Tennessee. This end of the season is really shaping to be a great ending.
Yeah, I don't think Hugh Sleeves going to hang with Alabama. I don't think he will. Surely John the Baptist will even have Arkansas. Auburn getting beaten that one, So, but yeah, I think Alabama's going to take it to you, baby, and I hope they do. That was a game at Missouri and Auburn the other day, man. That's where you just want the sleaze bowl, dork bowl.
I got some numbers for you,
Mm-hmm.
and I got some numbers for our audience out there, real quick. This is how I think this game is going to go, and because I'm a numbers guy, I drive a lot of my information that I use on my stories is driven from numbers, not just from my own personal opinion, but how the matchups played out. And this, I really feel like, is a roadmap. So if you look at the Arkansas and Ole Miss offenses, they are ranked 1 and 2 this season in the SEC. Ole Miss is 1, Arkansas is 2, and when you break those down, they're so you really can't say that they're more of a wash. Now, here's what I'm talking about. Now, the defensive part is where I really want to focus for just a minute. Arkansas's defense has given up 959 yards rushing on the season. Ole Miss has given up 613. Okay. Ole Miss is 3rd overall in defense in the SEC. Arkansas is 13th. When you break that down and you split between the rushing and the passing, Arkansas has given up 1,834 yards passing versus Ole Miss giving up 1,742. So what that tells me is Arkansas and Ole Miss have some secondary weaknesses that they're going to try to exploit this weekend.
Yeah.
Now, could that be negated by the rain a little bit? I think so. Yeah. If that happens, I think that Ole Miss might have the upper hand in the rushing game as far as defense goes, because you got Chris Pupal. He's coming back. His first game at Arkansas since transferring to Ole Miss in the offseason. And if ball security is going to be an issue for Arkansas, this thing is over with.
Yeah, but, you're getting a wet bowl. Braylon Russell, 250-something pounds.
Yeah.
He's not going to be easy to tackle. I think Braylon will hang on to the ball. He hasn't shown many tendencies to fumble. So I'm looking forward to it. It should be a good one. So that's interesting about the passing numbers because both teams are you can pass on them. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Especially get a talented or experienced quarterback like Dart or Nussmeier, more so than say a Reed or or the kid from Tennessee. That Nico that weren't as experienced.
Yep.
But Dart's experienced, but but one thing that kind of worries me though along those lines, passing is Ole Miss sacked OU 10 times the other day.
Yeah.
Arkansas's got to protect Talon because Talon getting hit and throwing a lot of times that's what leads to pick sixes. He got hit at the pick six at Oklahoma State, and we can't. You can't give Ole Miss touchdowns and give it and just hand them touchdowns and win the game. You can't do it. They're too good for that.
Last week was I would almost say it was a perfect game for Arkansas to be playing Mississippi State last weekend. And the fact that you got Pat Kudus that came in, kept Amarian Harris at
right
tackle.
Yeah.
And you gave them SEC experience to gel a little bit. And the pass protection last week was great. Talon ran when he needed to run, not when he had to run. And that was a key too.
Yeah.
If this team or this offensive line can keep that momentum and use that this coming Saturday, that will negate some of what Ole Miss wants to do, which is pin their ears back and get after the quarterback.
Yeah. And I think one thing here is too is just with them coming in this game and doing that, Ole Miss, I think they're going to try that, but Arkansas is not OU. OU, one thing I keep saying on this show every week is, we talk about the 10. And I'm brought up the 10 sacks, but OU's just not OU this year, folks. No. I mean, I remember when Texas beat them 38-3, and everybody was just freaking out over Texas, unbeatable. They're great, and I said, man, they beat OU 38-3. I mean, OU, you got to understand, it's not very good this year. Now they're better with this quarterback. There was more experienced quarterbacks than they were with the young guy. I don't know what led to that switch, but they tried to go young with that guy, and it didn't work out. But I really think that right now you got to just understand OU's not very good. So maybe Arkansas can do that. So we'll see. But anyway, watching a bird try to eat something over there at the counter. I'm sorry, I'm distracted. Chicken or a bird or something. I'm not sure. We got trick-or-treaters here tonight.
I do think that Arkansas will have success against Ole Miss in that respect. I think if through the air, again, it all depends on the rain situation. I mean, it's a 60 to 70% chance of rain coming into Saturday. There is going to be lightning. I hope it stays at least 10 miles away.
Yeah.
Create a bubble.
Don't mention that lightning word, man. Don't bring that up. Stay away from that word. That's the rain can rain, but lightning, man.
That's a different story.
Yeah, I don't want to go Nate Dogg on them over there if it starts having the lightning delays, man. I remember he used to go nuts over there on lightning delays. I don't want to do that.
So yeah, I really feel like the turning point for this game is going to be if Arkansas can capitalize on connecting with passes. If they can, I think that because listen, last week, whenever Mississippi State started to make their comeback, they had 2 scores in a row. The first thing you saw the offense do was 3 or 4 plays, and they go from 20 to 20. That's where Arkansas has got to be able to move the ball at, because that's going to keep pressure on the defense where they are not able to pin their ears back. They are going to have to cover the flats, and they are going to have to cover the middle of the field, and they are going to have to drop some guys back, because if not, Talon's going to beat him not only with his leg but with his arm.
Yeah, I was impressed with Shipley too. Let's bring that up a little bit here, Shipley, because I know those were long field goals, but hey, he had 3 of them. And I'm telling you what, those weren't necessarily long ones they missed against Oklahoma State either. I'm telling you, Shipley was 3 of 3, and I don't think they've had a perfect game this season from the kicker, especially with multiple kicks. I was really impressed with him, and I was proud he came through for them, because those are going to be big. They're going to need field goals against Missouri and Texas and and Ole Miss. So you want to get touchdowns. I fully get that. I put that in our story every week on the 5 keys. You want to get touchdowns when you're down there, but the last thing you want to do is come up empty. you want to at least get 3. I mean, listen, 3 is a lot better than 0. Anyway, you don't have to go to Jethro's School of Cipher and figure that out. 3 is better than 0, folks. So, I mean, you don't want it to. I felt like maybe when they had Cam Little, they got too dependent on field goals at times, and played conservative there. Maybe not. I don't know. It's a feeling I got. But it was good to have in the back of your mind. You had a guy you knew you get 3. This year, you don't know if you're going to get 3, but Saturday they did, and that's huge because that helps you. It gives you. You just don't want to see drives come up empty, man. That's what hurts. And that's what beat them against Oklahoma State. I mean, they had the pick 6 and had the 2 fumbles, but those missed field goals coming up downs, and then they lost confidence in the kicker over there, and they went for 4th and 1, and 4th and 4, and didn't make it. I'm just telling you, man. I mean, they've not having a reliable kicker hurt them in that Oklahoma State game about as much as anything.
I mean, because let's just be honest for a second. There's some fans that whenever you see Arkansas's kicker try out there, and this has happened in the past, and I'm just going to call a spade a spade. The first thing that they think is, "Oh shit, here we go again," and that's
what's happened this year, and it's rightfully so. I mean, it's been hit and miss with a lot of misses, not so much hits, but that, like I said, I mean, it's common math. You'd rather have 7 than 3. That's 4 more points. I fully get that, but it's good to get 3. Like I said, the last thing you want to do on these drives, especially against Ole Miss, Missouri, Texas, games where it could really matter, is come up empty on possessions, on drives. You don't want to miss field goals. And I'll tell you, Missouri's the same boat. I've watched them a little bit this year, and they had a kicker that was real reliable, the big kid, and they've missed a lot of field goals, and it's almost beat them a couple of times. So, they're in the same boat Arkansas is in, and hopefully Arkansas got theirs straightened out. Having 2 kickers like Arkansas did out of the portal was huge. I mean, it worked out about as well, I guess it could possibly work out now, because you got the high school kid coming in next year, the number 1 kicker in the country, and so you feel good about him. But we'll see how it turns out. You got to get through these next 5 games for Arkansas, though, counting the bowl game. So you don't worry too much about next year right now.
All right, so everybody, this is our weekly segment where we take a look at the SEC today. Coming up this weekend, we got first off, we got Vanderbilt at Auburn, 11:45 on SEC.
Come on, Vandy.
Auburn is favored by 6.5
Auburn
points.
is?
Yes, they are.
Auburn's favored over Vanderbilt?
Auburn is favored over Vanderbilt. I thought that was
I don't know about that one. I know they beat Kentucky, but
yeah.
I hope Vanderbilt rolls them. Vanderbilt rolls. I want to see who Sleaze throws under the bus this time.
I don't know. Before long, he's going to have to throw himself because he's not having
a good place for him to somebody throw him on the bus. They're moving.
Oh, man. So I want to talk a little bit about this, too, because Diego Pavia last week, he didn't have his best game against Texas, and they damn near beat him. The Vandy defense is top-notch this year. Don't ask if you don't believe me. Go ask Kalen DeBoer in Alabama.
Yeah.
They got their butt kicked when they came in there too. So for them to be not favored is completely mind blowing.
That blows my mind. I hadn't even looked at that part. I know you wrote that this morning, but I hadn't even looked at that part of it. I can't imagine that. I don't gamble, but if I did, I'd put money on Vanderbilt unless they know something. Maybe they know something in Vegas I don't know because maybe some key players hurt or something. But
it's kind of like that Arkansas line against A&M at the first of the season was 10 points before any game had been played, and everybody was jumping on that like wildfire.
Yeah. I don't see Auburn beating them. Auburn I know they beat Kentucky, but Kentucky, other than beating Ole Miss, hasn't done anything.
Vanderbilt creates turnovers. Auburn's a turnover machine, for God's sake. I don't understand how this is.
In fact, that game's at Auburn really doesn't mean anything. That's where Auburn was. I think Auburn went to Kentucky and won. They've lost all those home games.
Yeah.
I know they played like the first 5 games of the season at home, and they lost all the SEC games in that. So
roundhouse by South Carolina.
They lose Saturday, they'd be 3-6. Vandy would be, so they would have to. Oh, and Alabama beats them, maybe 7. So that's going to knock. If they lose to Vanderbilt and Alabama, I don't know who else they play. But if they lose those 2, they can't go to a bowl game. That'd be sweet.
That would be nice. And also, if Vanderbilt wins, they will be bowl eligible. They'll be 6-3.
They're going to go to bowl, but Auburn's 3-5. So if they lost to Vanderbilt, that's 3-6. Then they'd lose. I know to Alabama, that'd be 3-7. So then they would have. Even if they won the other 2 games, they'd still be not going to a bowl. That'd be sweet.
So next, you've got Oklahoma taking on Maine. 1:30 on ESPN Plus. They have flexed this to streaming only. There is no line on this. I think that Oklahoma gets right. They get in the end zone. They get in there a lot this weekend. Maine actually played Missouri earlier in the season and lost 45-3 in Como. I think that you're going to probably have the same outcome with.
I didn't even know Maine had a football team. They're terrible, man. I mean, that state's not known for football, but you'll get a win there. That'll get them to 5. And, they'll probably get to 6. Somehow. I don't know who else. I know they've got Missouri left. I don't know who else they've got.
They go to Missouri next week.
Yeah, I know they had that game, but I don't know who else they've got. They'll win this one. They've gone 5. They'll probably get to 6 wins before it's over with. But they're not very good. This is not OU's year. It's just not. This is not a typical OU team. They've got Missouri, Alabama, and LSU. I don't know if they will or not. I mean, they're going to get to 5 with Maine. They better beat Missouri, and they can beat Missouri because they're not going to beat Alabama and LSU. So, I mean, good God, that's tough, man. I mean, Missouri. Well, I remember we talked about this 3 or 4 weeks ago, maybe longer now on this show about the last 3 games. You had it up. I looked at the last 3 games OU had, and I told you then, I said, they better win some early because that's a brutal killer ending to the season. No, they better beat Maine. Well, they better beat Maine and pray for Missouri or somebody because Missouri is probably their best chance. I don't see them beating Alabama and don't see them beating LSU. Man, that's brutal.
Because I want to look at this really quick, too, because Missouri I do believe they are off this week.
Dorkwitz was cussing the Alabama players, dropping F-bombs at them. I mean, he'd have peed his pants if one of the big linemen had come over and slapped him crossways. He'd have peed his pants, man. I'll say pee for lack of a respect on the show. Better respect on the show than who's listening, But, yeah, I saw him over there dropping F-bombs at the Alabama players, and I'm thinking, one of them came at you, you'd wet your pants, buddy, you jackass.
So you got the world's largest cocktail party in Jacksonville this weekend. You've got Florida taking on Georgia, 2:30 on ABC. Georgia ranked 2nd in the country and facing a Florida team that's got some swagger, got a little bit of momentum. You got DJ Lagway that is now the full-time quarterback after Graham Mertz had that shoulder injury.
He's a good kid, too. I like him.
And kid out of Texas, I mean, he's pretty salty.
And he's real salty.
He's got some wheels. I think that might create some problems for Georgia because Georgia hasn't really looked Georgia-ish here the last couple of weeks after that big win over Texas.
Well, Missouri, we wrote off, all of us, me included, right at the top of the list, wrote them off early in the year, and they've rallied around Napier. I guess they like him. I mean, they've rallied around the guy. So, I mean, Georgia should win that, and I think they will, but Florida's probably not going to roll over for them. I mean, they haven't been rolling over for anybody lately, so that could be an interesting game. I'll take Georgia, but I don't think Florida will just up and roll over for them.
I didn't think that this is going to be an upset alert because there's a couple little further down the list that we'll go over here in just a minute that I do believe that could be on upset alert. But you got A&M going to South Carolina. I'm sorry. Go back to that one in just a second. You've got UMass going to Mississippi State, 3:15 on the SEC network.
They're actually going to put that on a network game. Okay.
I know. I thought they'd flex that to
UMass and Mississippi State. UMass is 2-6. Mississippi State's 1-7. But I'll say one thing. I think one reason they may do that is because Mississippi State's got an exciting offense.
They do.
And fans love to see points scored, and they do have a good offense. They don't have a defense. They got probably the worst defense in the SEC. Well, not probably. They do have the worst defense in the SEC. But I'm telling you, they can put points up on everybody. And I was impressed with, how Arkansas held them to 10 there for much of through the third quarter, part of the third quarter. But UMass, not very good. But, yeah, Mississippi State should get their second win. And they're not going to a bowl game, so they've got to play for pride right now and, try to close out the season on a positive note here.
Could you call this the toilet bowl?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I said. I'm really surprised that's on the SEC network. Well, like I said, I think it's because of Mississippi State's offense. They can put up some points. They may have already used up their streaming games. I don't know how many. I don't know what the rule on that is. I kept up with, but people watch because they can score some points,
And also, Mississippi State is an 18-point favorite in this one, so
they'll win.
Yeah, it'll be again. Well, you can watch.
Hopefully Cody gets him a win there. Cody Kennedy. I like the guy.
Yep. And so we got A&M going to South Carolina. This is the first of my 3 trap games this week in the SEC. 6:30 on ABC. A&M is only a 3-point favorite at South Carolina. You listen, whenever teams go to Williams-Brice Stadium, it's different at night.
Yeah.
And I think that they're giving some the South Carolina fans some love on this one because A&M has, week after week after week retesting, proving themselves. Last week, really emotional game against LSU where you had Cardinal Wegman get replaced at halftime. Marcel Reed came in, made a huge difference, and actually was really the deciding factor in that win for A&M, which happens to be 5-0 and tops in the SEC. South Carolina has got the weapons to be able to turn that around. And
they're a scary team, man.
They are.
They're scary, and Dow does a good job there with the offense. And
you got Rocket.
They've got Rocket, one of the best running backs in the SEC. They've got a good plan, and they've played teams tough. They almost beat Alabama down in Tuscaloosa. I watched a lot of that game, so they're capable of beating anybody. But A&M's. That's pretty telling when A&M's only favored by 3 points. That's pretty telling, Jason. That's a pretty telling stat right there, or number. I mean, surprised me that they're only favored by 3. But then again, when you think about it, I can see why, because they definitely have one to watch for an upset there.
But these are also the same jackwagons that have Auburn favored by 7.5.
I don't get that at all. I don't think. I don't understand that. I hope Vanderbilt rolls them.
The key for South Carolina Saturday night against A&M is Lenora Sellers and how he's able to handle the pressure from A&M. Yeah. If he can handle the pressure from them, it could be a long night for A&M.
Well, yeah, you just don't want to turn the ball over too, man. And that's the thing. I mean, we can, I say that about Arkansas every week, but it's true about any of these teams. There's not Georgia, maybe Georgia, but there's not another team in the SEC good enough to turn it over 3 and 4 times and win the ball game. They're just not. Georgia might be. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they are or not, but that'd be the closest thing probably to it. I know Arkansas is not good enough to turn it over 3 times or 4 and win the game. They're just not.
Michael, we will get your comment here in just a second. We got the last 2 here. Kentucky at Tennessee. Listen, I know that Kentucky really laid an egg, but the thing is that them going on the road against a top 10 team, they already beat Ole Miss at home. Now they're going to Tennessee. It's going to be at night, 6:45 on the SEC Network. Tennessee's a 17.5-point favorite. Yeah. Listen, Tennessee does not cover it this one.
No, I think Tennessee will beat them, but Kentucky's a strange team. I don't know. I mean, when you go to Ole Miss and you win, you think, man, they've got it figured out. And then they go to lose at home to Auburn. So I don't know. Yeah. They're hard for me to figure out. But, yeah, I think Tennessee takes this one. I don't know about covering spread. Probably not, but they could. But Kentucky, I just can't figure them out, man. Like I said, you beat Ole Miss and you lose to Auburn. So I don't know, man. Anything can happen. And that's a game. There's another game where anything can happen. I mean, if Tennessee sleepwalks, Kentucky's a dangerous team, so we'll see how it plays out, Jason.
So you've got Arkansas taking on Ole Miss this weekend.
I mean,
the line was 7, now it's moved to 8. So you've got a lot of people betting on Arkansas to win with that spread. Again, 11 a.m. on ESPN on the Mothership Network, ESPN. One of the things that I want to also bring up too, really quick, is that. Whenever you go to Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium this weekend, you are going to end up actually paying a little bit more for your concessions. Did you see that article by chance?
Yeah, well, I've heard of it. I've heard that your check's going to raise the concessions at the ball games and stuff, you know, against the NIL stuff. But
it's a 3% increase across the board at concession stands and also select merchandise at the stadium as well.
Well, I mean, it's just it's the times we live in, folks. I mean, we can talk about the economy, the economics and all this, but it's just the times we live in. I mean, their colleges are paying paying players now, and it's, and they're trying to figure out ways to keep it going and compete with the big guys, and it's just part of, Tennessee's up the price on their tickets next year. I mean, considerable raise, I believe $10 or $20 a pop. It's across the board. It's not just Arkansas doing it. I know people gripe about it, but I mean, hey, you either do it or you get left behind, and you gripe because they lose games because they don't have the talent or don't get these 5 stars. But then you don't want to pay, So I mean, I don't know. It's which came first, the chicken or the egg. I mean, I get it. I mean, hey, I get it. I mean, I understand people not want to pay more, Jason. I completely get it. I'm not a millionaire sitting there making $1 million and Lanny paying me $1 million and me going out here and money's nothing. I've got the same issues you guys do, but it's just like I said, it's part of the times we live in. It's the age. This is what it's come to now.
It is. All right, so I'm going to bring up Michael Wilkins.
Yeah, a question or something. Yeah,
I got here. It says, "Hey Otis, I may have missed this, but do you? But what is your score prediction? And have you heard anything about? I think it's not antiquated, but Jaquindon Jackson."
Well, Jackson's out. I had that last night in the story, and last night in the updated availability report, the injury report. Jaquindon's out. That's what I had in that story. My prediction is 31-21 Arkansas.
And also
for this game, was that what you're talking about?
Yes.
31-21. But Jaquindon Jackson was listed out last night in the report. I doubt seriously that that would change by Saturday. I don't think they'd put him out and then play him as playing, so I think he definitely is out. I thought he would be out till after the bye week. He is going to come back. Sam got asked that, by the way, and I had it Monday in the story, but Sam got asked, is he out for the season? Said no, he will be back. And Sam targeting the Texas game. I think same thing for Jalen Braxton.
Okay. And are there any other players that were out that were in the story as well?
Rodney Hill was probable. It was the kicker, Ramsey, Jalen Braxton. I just hit on that. He was out. Yeah. And, they think he and Jaquindon both will play against Texas. Here's the deal. People making a big deal about this. Patrick Kudus is going to play 4 games in redshirt. Now, he can play in the bowl game and it doesn't count. Yep. But it's not a big deal. I mean, he played the other day, so they got 4 games left. He's just going to set against Louisiana Tech. Yeah, Sam's not going to come out and say it, but it's not rocket science to figure that out. I mean, that's easy. Yeah. He's going to play the SEC games, the 3 more SEC games, and he'll set out against Louisiana Tech, and then he will play the bowl game, and he'll have redshirt gear. So, but there seemed like there was one more. It was Rodney Hill probable, Jaquindon and Jalen were out. Ramsey was out. That might have been it. Ramsey's out, but the kicker, Kyle Ramsey.
And that's a great thing for Arkansas, for Razorback fans to know as well, is that this team is healthy, or pretty much as healthy as it's been from game 1 to game 10 or game 9. Because whenever you have an off week, it helps getting guys right a little bit more. But this small of a list is something that Hog fans really haven't been used to here the last couple of years.
It's the 3 I had. Jaquindon's out, Jalen Braxton out, Kyle Ramsey out, Rodney Hill probable. That's the Arkansas deal. So, that's exactly. It was 4 players.
All right. Otis, this is the 2-minute warning, not the 2-minute timeout. I'm not playing into that crap. Mm-hmm. It's the 2-minute warning. I want to give you – I don't know if you want to say anything about this, but do you have any thoughts on the Yankees losing last night in the World Series, wrapping this up before November starts?
That 5th inning was a disaster. I didn't watch the game except for I watched the Lakers and then turned it over, and it's 5-0 Yankees, and I'm thinking, hell, I feel like I jinxed them because, I mean, they were up 5-0. I mean, man, Aaron Judge drops a fly ball. I mean, I thought the Dodgers were the better team. They proved that the course of the season, the course of the playoffs. I really didn't care. I mean, that to me is my 2 favorite teams anyway, so I didn't really care. But I mean, the Yankees, I don't know, man. Aaron Boone's a clown. I don't like him as a manager. I think he's a clown. He's sitting over drinking water and watching them blow leads, and we'll go out and talk to the pitcher, letting Garrett Cole just throw one. Garrett Cole didn't cover first on ground ball. Volpe threw a grounder, or fielded a grounder, threw it to Chisholm third, bounced it. I mean, it's just like, what else can we do to lose the game? First. Garrett Cole didn't cover first. I didn't care. I mean, I probably wouldn't have watched it tomorrow night because the Lakers play tomorrow night, so I would have been watching that anyway. So and then Saturday night, they'd played Saturday night, I'd probably been home in time to watch. If I'd have watched it, the Razorbacks play Saturday morning, so probably would have been home. But if it would have been a night game Saturday, I probably would have watched the game 7.
Couple of things I saw on Twitter last night. I was actually on Twitter too, posting about the Dodgers win. But I saw somebody on Twitter posted and said, "Oh, check it out, Aaron Boone again, spitting seeds and blowing leads."
Yeah, he's a clown. I don't like Boone, never have. And, Cashman, I don't like, but they got the World Series. You know, Matt Zimmerman made a point, said most teams, there's 28 other teams that love to be there. But you know, my deal is just I'm not big on getting on there and wanting people fired. But Yankees been there one time since 2009. That was this year, and with that payroll and the advantages they've got, they should be there more often than that.
You might have to go talk to Cal because he was rubbing elbows with Cashman this week.
Yeah.
He was up there, hobnobbing a little bit.
Yeah,
but,
maybe Cashman will learn something from him.
Man, oh man. Well, everybody wants
learn how to get players. Cal can get the players now. I mean, that's one thing you can do.
That's the truth. Oh, and also, buddy of mine, Daniel Shee, he posted this on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
He had said that congratulations to Gavin Stone, Arkansas native, that came up through the Dodgers organization, had to have season-ending shoulder surgery. He's got himself a World Series ring now as well. So congratulations to him.
Yeah, Gavin Stone was his name?
Yes.
Okay. Like I said, I don't keep up baseball as much as I do the basketball, NBA, so we'll see. But, yeah, I'm going to go and watch some NBA right now.
All right. Well, everybody, I want to thank you all for jumping on with us tonight.
Appreciate you.
Here at with the Arkansas Football Report here at Torchys Tacos and Rogers. Make sure to throw up your score predictions on the Twitter handle as well, so that way you qualify for a $25 gift certificate to Torchys, also along with a trucker hat and T-shirt. So for myself, Otis, Jason, thank you all for joining us tonight. Go Hogs.
Y'all, it's time for some damn good tacos in college football. We're excited to announce our title sponsor, Torchys Tacos for the Arkansas Football Report with Otis Kirk, and the new addition to the Hogville.net family, the Arkansas pregame show starring former Hog running back Marshall Foreman, hosted by Jason Pattison. If you're looking for a place to unwind and call the Hogs, Torchys is the place. Torchys' location on MLK in Fayetteville is the proud host of the Arkansas pregame show, and it will air 2 hours prior to kickoff of each Fayetteville home game. The Arkansas Football Report airs every Thursday at 7 p.m. in Rogers. Check out the full-service bar on the patio or in the restaurant while you cheer Arkansas on to victory. Torchys has you covered with the daily drink specials or the taco of the month with their queso that's made in-house fresh daily. Torchys has 2 convenient locations in Northwest Arkansas, which happen to be the only 2 locations here in the great state of Arkansas. They have you covered for some damn good tacos, and go Hogs.